The University Presentation Showcase, the whole purpose of that is basically to showcase any work that students are doing that's high-level quality scholarship. So that includes graduate students doing research posters, undergraduate students doing research posters, and also we have creative projects. So we have some students from the dance theater doing dance performances. We also have a group called the EKUs, which is a group of singers, and they did some music performances for us as well.
What do I stand for? I don't know anymore.
This is it, boys, this is war. What are you waiting for? Why don't we break the rules already?
The individual posters is usually a mentored project. So the student or a group of students has worked with a faculty member on some research project that requires some important contribution to the field. So oftentimes these will be pretty in-depth research projects.
Triclosan is commonly found in hand soaps, mouthwash, and detergents, and that gets into the wastewater treatment plants. Well, we wanted to see how that's being affected. So we collect our sediment samples from the wastewater treatment plant in Lexington, Kentucky, and we took our samples and we streaked them onto media that contained triclosan.
I started with the 1927, looking at 4 different newspapers, and I looked at before, during, and after a major flooding event occurred, and I just looked throughout time, going all the way up to 2012.
The purpose of this research was actually to measure the effect sizes of different trauma outcomes after EMDR treatment. So we located 10 studies on PsycInfo of EMDR treatment of trauma victims. And we coded the studies for the different outcomes, and then we computed the effect sizes for each study.
We looked at middle school students, and we found that the higher level of narcissism kind of predicted cyberbullying, and specifically exploitative narcissism, which is kind of a manipulating factor. Children who have exploitative narcissism are more likely to manipulate others.
It affects bats. It's a fungus. What it does to the bats is it gets onto their nostrils and eventually gets into their system, and they wake up during hibernation. And they wake up hungry and thirsty, so they leave the cave and they freeze and die.
We wanted to look at the cell signaling cascade that gives breast cancer cells this morphology that allows them to break off at a primary tumor site into the bloodstream and go somewhere else, like in the lungs, and metastasize and grow tumors there.
What it found was that rather than foreign language and study abroad, which is what everybody thinks would foster global citizenship positive outcomes, what really worked was contact with different social, economic, and racial ethnic backgrounds and community service.
What we did was we had judges there scoring each of those, and we selected 7 finalists of the top quality undergraduate research posters, and also there was an award winner for the graduate division as well.
The 2016 Graduate Research Expo Best Research Poster Award to Joseph Barron from the Department of Recreation.
The judges went through and they did the oral presentations as well, and I should mention that all of these received very, very high marks, so you all did a really great job. The person who received the highest scores was Bethany Breakall for, oh my gosh, can you read this?
Yes, sir, I can. Bromo-enol-lactone attenuates nicotine-induced breast cancer cell proliferation and migration.
All right, that is poster number 30. name's Kelsey Sutherland, and she was the choreographer for the dance piece Eyes Wide Open. So give her a round of applause. Here's proof that we have something for her. So I'd also like to mention that we have participation certificates for everyone who presented here in undergraduate division.